Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Yes, good evening.
Okay. Longest time. Okay, so before I continue, like my normal tradition, I want two or more, three persons to actually tell me what they learned in the previous class and if they have any questions so that we can answer before moving forward. So please, if you have anything to say regarding the previous class, just raise up your hand so that just raise your hand. I can't see anybody's hand up. That means everybody understood the last class and there is no question before we move further. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello. Oh, okay. So no question because I can't see anybody's hand. All right, so we'll continue today. So basically, what we'll be doing today will just be looking at how to they taught you alignment in the previous class. So today we'll be looking at layered grids and the rest of them. Okay, so I need to open my Figma now. Oh, hmm? Hello. So you just give me some minutes. Let me reply to something.
Okay, so while your trainer is sorting out a few things, I just want to drop this announcement, please. So for some of us who are submitting your assignment, please, I want to reiterate that you try as much as possible to grant access to your submission links, your Google Docs, your Mira, your Figma. Make sure you give access to your documents so it will be easy for us to grade you. Okay, so that's just to give us a bit of that information. Okay, so thank you very much.
Hello. Okay, so my Figma is open. All right. Today we will not be using mobile app. Let's switch over um to website. It seems like I'm talking to myself in this class. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
But we can't see your screen.
Okay.
Okay, so now.
Okay, your screen is up. She's up.
Okay, hello, Buma. I think your mic is mute, so I think you should unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
As I shared my screen, my mic was muted. I don't know why. Okay. Hello? Sorry, I think I need to join with my phone. Once I share my screen, I'm being muted. I can't say anything. Can you hear me now? Hello, can anybody hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, yes, we can
Yes, we
hear
can
you.
hear
We
you.
can hear you.
And let me join with my phone so that I'll be talking with my phone
Yes.
while sharing with my screen. I'm sorry.
Okay, Inyechi, your hand is raised. Do you have a question?
Okay. This thing is on the echo. Hello? I guess it's okay now. You can hear me, right?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear you.
we can hear.
Let me share my screen now. Sorry for all this. All right, so now we are good. Okay. So now, when you want to design as a designer, for you to make your work to be aligned properly, we make use of a layout grid. That will help you make your circle equal. It's mostly for consistency. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Then we'll prepare a style guide. Then we are going to design an hero page. The hero page, that's what we're going to do for today. So once I select a frame, I'll just click on it so that it will be selected. Then I come to this part and I'll just click on my plus button. You see that you have some grids line on it, but then we'll be working with a particular grid for this class. So what we will do is we are going to go to layered grid setting. We change the grid from grid to column. Okay, I'll make the count 12. I'll set my gutter to 20. Yeah, it's okay. So this is the grid we'll be working with for this class. So I'm merging 20 or 25. Anyone you feel is okay for you. So we've gotten the grid that we're using for this particular class. Now, what I'm going to do is when I'm designing, I just know that this white space, which is my gutter, I'm not going to put anything there. I'm just going to, I would align everything so that there will be space. Okay, let's open a screen, some screen. Okay. Let me share a screen. Let me share. Okay, now if you look at this website, you notice something that they did not start designing from the end. They actually made everything centralized. The logo is one side and the login box is also on another side. They did not move it to the end. They kept some space so that this space now will make everything look very, very fine and good for a user. Back to Figma. So I decided to do like this. You can as well do yours. Put the different, arrange it the way you want to arrange. So now we are done with this. The next thing I'm going to do is to create some style guide that will aid us in our design, in everything we're going to do here. Now, I'm working with a rectangle, sorry. So I'm going to choose a color that I would use for this design. I don't actually know the color to use, but let's work with blue. Now, I want this blue to be my primary color for everything I'll do. So I have it here already. So I'll come to this part. After selecting the color, I'll come here. Okay, yeah. I'll add a style. And I will name that primary color. And I've created that color. Okay, so somebody's hand is up. Who is the person? Please unmute and hello, unmute and ask a question. Okay, nobody. Now I would have to choose another color. So please, let's communicate. Which color do you think, they've taught you about colors and the rest of them, which color do you think is going to match with blue? We have the white, we know white is going to match with blue. Which other color? I need someone to tell me another color we should use for this design. So we are going to set that as our secondary color. Hello, I'm waiting. I'm going to point if nobody is willing to say something. Okay, I'm seeing somebody. Christy, please unmute your mic and tell us a color we are supposed to use for this design, aside this blue we've chosen here. Christy. This is looking like I'm alone in the class. So nobody is saying anything. Someone should unmute and say something. If not, we will not move.
We are saying something in the chat group. We are
My
saying something in the chat group. Just look at the chat group. We see what we are saying.
Oh.
My hand has been up. I need to ask a question.
Unmute and ask your question.
Okay, you can hear me already.
Yes,
so
I
think the first time I saw my laptop is open, I am trying to follow you and follow everything that you're doing. I saw you picked on desktop and then the frame came out. And from there, I don't know what you did to the layout grid, but then all of a sudden I saw it with lines. I don't know if I'm the only person with that problem, but I don't know how you achieved good this pink and white stripes that I can see on your screen. I saw the screen was white, and the next thing I saw were this color and this thing. So I don't even know how to follow anymore. I feel lost because I don't know how you got here.
Okay. So I need to start back. Like I said, once you get your frame, you make sure that it's highlighted. You come over to this part where you see layout grid. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cancel this one and start it from afresh. So you're seeing the layout grid. You just click. You're seeing the plus sign. You click on your plus sign. Initially, what you get is this normal grid. So now you're going to set it by coming here. You see styles. Click on styles. So not style. Okay, you come to this part, you see grid setting. You change your grid to column grid. Then your count, you change your count, it's 5 here. Change your count to 12. You keep it on stretch so that you can be able to adjust it and the grid will still be the same. You put your margin, anything you want. Okay, let's work with 70 now. And put your gutter to 12. Now, what is a gutter? A gutter is a space between your rows and your column, while the margin is a space between the outmost edge of your grid. 2020, so that's it. So now I have my space. If I want to design, I'll just have to start all my designs from this place and end all my designs here. So who asked that question? Hope you're clear now.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So, okay, I'm seeing different colors here. Light gray, red, yellow, red, white, green, pink. Okay, let's go with yellow. So I'm going to select another color from here. What I'll do is I'll detach the style so that I can save another one. I'm removing this, I'm removing this. So now I can go to my field and choose yellow. So this is yellow. I'll come here. This is my first color. I'll add style and I'll name it yellow. No, secondary color. Create style. So I have two styles here. I have two here. Let's see again. Okay, I have the two here. So when I'm designing, instead of always looking for the color, I'll just have to take from these two and I'm done. So what I'll do is, if I want to search, I'll search for primary and it will take me to that one. Then my secondary, search for it, you get it there. So that is it. So I've gotten my two colors here. I'll come to my font. I also do the same thing. H1. Let's see, I want my H1 to be 36. Okay, 36. I'll make it bold. Once I'm done with it, I'll just add style, add it to my style. I'll put it at H1 bold 36 and I'll create it as my style. I'll duplicate it using my alt. I'll change this one to H2. Now, depending on what works for you, some people actually give it a name that will make them remember it quickly. Now, me, I'm giving my own H1, H2. I used 36 the first time. So this should be my body text. I'm going to detach it as usual. Then I'll change to 18. Should be regular. Come to that, it's just a repeated process. Add style, I put this is my body for the design. So before my body text, there should be another text, which is the H2. Since we are designing a hero page, we need H2. So I'm going to name this my H2. I'll detach it. This is 36. This should be around 24. I'll come to this place again. No good, regular. Regular. Add it to your style. What should I call it? H2. So you go on and on with when you've gathered all the assets you want to use. That's how you do it on and on till you're okay with everything you want to use. So for me, for the purpose of this class, we are good with these 3 that we are using here. So I think I can. So far you've seen you can be able to create some styles for your design. Hello, any questions so far so that we'll move on? Any question? Please, am I the only one? Because my screen is still showing this blue box I'm seeing. Hello.
Sorry, Ma. It's just that most of the time we don't want to disturb the class. That's why we are typing in the chat.
We can hear you, Ma. Go ahead.
My screen is showing blue and I've passed that stage. That's what I'm asking. Is it also like that there? Or it's for my network?
I guess it's from your network.
I think it's your network.
Okay, it's not showing blue here.
Okay. So now let's create a simple landing page. I'll pick up my rectangle 2 and I'll draw my nav bar. Okay. So I like making the height of my nav 100 for personal reason. I don't know. You can make your 60, 120, anyhow you want it. So I'm done with it. Let's look for any logo online. Logo. So I'm trying to download a logo. Okay, sorry, suggestion in the chat box. What kind of landing page should we design? Just 2 or 3 suggestions and we are done. I would suggest we design something like portfolio, a portfolio landing page. If you have another option, just send in the chat box. My phone is really disturbing me today. Furniture. Okay, furniture sales, portfolio, 2 more. Portfolio is leading, so we are going to design a portfolio page. So I'll just okay. So we are going with a portfolio landing page. So for a portfolio landing page, I think the content we should have is home. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick from my styles that I already saved here. Please, any mentor on ground. Okay. Let's continue. So I know why this thing is living like this. Okay, so this is my home. I'm going to hold down my alt. And I put this as about. About. All people. So these lines are helping me to about hold down my alt. What again should we have? About my portfolio. Then maybe a button. Yes, a button showing hire me. I don't really like this layout grid showing, so I'm going to hide it first. Then hire me. Hold it down, align it very well. Okay. Okay, so this Let's do my first. We did not put one particular color, which is white. So we did like that. Later we are going to do that thing. I'm going to do this completely. Let me check mine because we are following a particular pattern to align this row. So I'm going to check the layout group. We've passed the line, so I'm going to adjust all these other ones. Move this. Move this. Move it too. Okay. I'll make sure they are all aligned properly to the center of the rectangle I have here. The space between the higher min button and this is too much, so I'm going to move it closer. So we are good with this. Then let me just prepare a simple logo portfolio for UX folio. UX folio. Right. So this should serve as our logo for today. Now I'm going to make use of the two colors said we should use, which is this and this other part should be the yellow. Yellow. I'll make it blue. Right. Since I've aligned everything, I can hide my layout, my grid. Now this column, we are changing it to white, 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 white. Yeah, let's make it white. And change your text. The text color to, let's say, blue. Okay. So we've gotten our first page. So now let's continue. What should be our content? Okay, idea. You know, right? We're supposed to do a wireframe and everything. So once you're designing, it's not be very hard for you. You already have everything you need on your paper or on your sketch pad, everything. So what you're doing is just creating your wireframe and designing. But in this case, we did not do any of those things. So we're just designing. Okay. I am a UI UX designer. Idea. I am a UI UX designer. Like UX designer. Designer. Text. We are changing it to our bold. This as our H2. So I'm just picking from what I've done. This should be BA for me. Then the last text should be the body text. Maybe an about you. Let me get about. Let me copy some dummy text online. Oh, I can make use of Control C. I'm just copying some things that might not really make sense. Okay. This should be the body text. Body text. Let's look for a picture online. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this picture. So normally what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the background of this picture using my plugin. remove.bg. Then to run it. Since it's not removing directly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to the website, create remove.bg, and I'm going to, you can't see that part. Okay, so I'm going to upload the picture from here directly. See. If I'm using XD, I'll just do it directly from Photoshop and bring it back inside. So using XD for me is way easier than using Figma. No offense, though. Share window. So now that I've removed the background of my image, I'll just take it in. So it's better now. This is actually not the right picture for it. So when you're done, when you want to design, make sure you get good pictures of yourself or anything. This is not looking fine. So now we are going to make it very fine. So how do we make it fine? We can include a box here, which will serve like this. And I'll send it backward. Okay. Now at the back, we're going to choose from our color. Now it's too sharp. So please let me check the chat to see what's up. Okay, so there's no question. We can continue from here. Sorry, this yellow, for me, it's looking too sharp as the background. It's too sharp, so I'll change to the blue. Is also not good. Now we can work with blue. We'll change these other ones to white. I'm going to change it to white. Then these are text, it's too small. The 36 we wanted to use is small, so we're going to keep that and make it 76 is better. This should now be 36. 36. And this is okay. So now we are going to get a button. going to copy this, duplicate it, and bring it here. Okay, so these things are not properly aligned. I'm going to move it till I get to the center. Then I'm going to change the hue color of this to white of my button to white. Is oops and do this. I'm going to change the hue color to white. White is not working, so I'm going to add a stroke. Maybe I'll make the stroke white. Then I'll make the stroke should be white. Then this, the color should be blue. Okay, this is better. Maybe make your stroke to I still don't like this blue color. So let's see if we can work with this. See if we can work with the okay. So now, do you know why I allowed us to do something like this and see that it's actually very hard to design when you did not actually carry out your research, any other thing you do, any other thing you're supposed to do as a designer, and you just start designing, you notice that you have issues. But then when you make your research, everything, carry everything you want to use for that particular project and put it in place, designing becomes very easy for you. Imagine if you already have a wireframe for this. You see the time we spent trying to get some of these things. But if you have your work already, you've done all your assignment and everything, you just design easily. Okay, so now for here, this is where I'm going to stop for Figma. I'm going to switch quickly to XD for people that want to use XD and show you how you can create your style guide with ease. So let's switch to XD. Okay, so let me see the code. Okay. Somebody said the golden yellow should work. You can use color picker to pick any color on your screen. Yes, you can do that. That's when you have a logo and the rest of them. If you have a color that you want to use on it, you just use the color picker and you pick it. Okay, so I'm giving room for questions. You can now unmute and give your question and ask your questions. I need 2-3 persons to ask questions. What we've done so far.
Sorry, good
Hello,
afternoon.
it's time to talk. Yeah, good afternoon. It's time to talk.
Sorry, please, I don't really have like a question, but people in the chat are saying that you should try using the color picker to pick the colors on your shirt. The one in the picture.
Oh, true. Yes.
So we'll have a nice interface. Please, can you try it for us?
No, yes, you can. Let me share the screen. Okay. Color picker. The color on my shirt. Yeah, this is the color on my shirt. This is it. It's better. Yellow too.
Hi, Boma, can you
You
hear
can
me?
try using the.
Okay, I can hear you. Speak up.
Okay, this is color I saw kind of like sky blue before this one that
Okay.
came up before this one. We could try that one. I think that one made sense.
The color is not coming out again.
I don't know, but there's this color.
Yeah,
you were just going through the colors, yes, for the background.
I can actually find that color again. So I'm going to change this one back to the color.
Maybe you can go for a lighter shade of yellow.
Okay.
Yes, for
No,
the
I'm
background.
sorry.
Probably what you have on your, yes.
Yes, like
Please just carry on like 5 minutes. Let me just reply something. A call. Someone has been calling me urgently and it's very serious.
wow.
Okay.
Please, just 5 minutes. Let me respond to the call and come back.
Okay, ma'am.
Bye-bye. So, good evening, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can.
Okay. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything on our screen, but there's this girl who said something. There's someone, a female, who said something about following up the design. So if you're actually doing that, I would say you go for a color that's lighter than this one, because these colors are kind of fighting each other. That's why we cannot really see the button, because the colors they're not matching. So you you could go for the yellow on her shirt, or if you're using your own picture, just use a lighter color so that the buttons can pop out. And then for her picture, I would say you click on the circle tool. Can you guys still hear me? Are you following?
Yes, ma, but I don't get what you mean by the circle tool. What's the circle tool?
Check
Ellipse,
the
I think
left
it's the
side.
ellipse tool. The ellipse tool. I
Yes,
think
the
it's the ellipse
ellipse
tool.
tool. Yes, the ellipse tool. Click on the ellipse tool and come back to your screen and then click on your screen. Press the ellipse tool. When you're done doing that, click on the ellipse tool again and go to where you have fill, like to fill in the color. When you get to fill in the color, like what you have on Boma's screen right now, there's this icon. Click on it, you see other options where you have solid, you have image. Click on the image and then fill in your image. That's this particular image here. I don't know, but if you followed the last class where I did the food ordering app design, you actually understand what I'm talking about. Do you guys understand, or do you have a question?
I understand, ma.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm back.
All right.
Is there any other question? So
Hello.
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Good evening. All right. Good evening, Boma. Okay, please,
Yeah,
about the background color. About the background color, can we just make use of the yellow on her dress, like as the white background color? Can we make use of the yellow on her dress?
okay. So like I said, that's why it's very advisable that you gather all these assets before you start designing. So if you know that you're going to use an image in your design, you should gather it so that when you're picking your colors, you have to pick colors that would match with your image and everything. So you pick your colors before you start designing. Now, we already chose a color, which is this blue and yellow, before starting to design. And all of a sudden, there was a need for me to bring in a picture. And you're seeing that the color we chose and the one on my image, they are not actually the same. So it's not conflicting. So most times it's advisable that you gather all these assets, select the colors, look for the complementary, the matching, all the color combination you want to use, then you start designing. That way you would not have to, like me, when I design, mostly what I do is I pick colors from the logo I'm working with. If there is no logo, I normally ask, which color do you want me to use for your product? Or I browse about a particular, but then you know that most times some colors that you use, and if you're designing for an international client, let's say China and the rest of them, you know that culturally some of their colors means different things. So that's why you communicate, ask your clients what, if he has any color preference for you. If he doesn't, then you choose colors by yourself after studying, after researching about their cultural, what their culture is saying about this particular color. Okay, so the chat, you can unmute and add a suggestion as well. Please do. Let's leave the BG as it is. That's fine for the white top. Now look around the head. You can add the yellow circle behind the part that the head can pop. That should solve it. The bottom too needs to become yellow. Yes, there are different ways to actually solve it. So this suggestion that Femi is saying will also work, by putting a circle, a yellow circle at the back and making it pop out, that would also work very fine. Okay. All right, so I want to share my other screen. Okay, so this is for those that don't use Figma to design and you're using XD to design. We're going to start from the style guide, what we did initially. So let's start quickly so that we can end the class. So now I have an image that I downloaded for the purpose of this. Let me drag it in so that we can copy our colors from there without having issues with colors again, like we did for the first one. The system is seizing. Okay, it's open. Okay, so let's pick colors from this. I'm going to use my color picker. I'm going to select this color. Now we have two ways of adding styles to adding colors to XD. The first way is once you select your color, you can just add this plus button and it will add the style. So what I'll do is I go over to the next color I need to do and I add it. Very easy for me. I choose the ash and I'm going to add it. I'm just going to choose. I'm not going to use all these colors, but I'm just going to add it to it so that I know that this is what I'm using. Okay, so I've gotten 4 colors. Now, if I want to make it a style guide, I want to do my style guide. All I'm going to do is I'll click on it and I come to this place, this plus button here, and I add column. Now, what it did automatically was selecting these colors. From this box, it selected the color that is there and the border color. It just selected the main color and the border color. So if I want to change it, I want it to select this one. I'll still add my plus. It will add it. I'll change it to this one. Hit my plus button. It will add it. I'll change it to the last one. Hit my plus button and it will add it. So we are done selecting colors. Now we can select our font. Sorry, my system is seizing. Okay, so that's how you actually add your styles and everything. You just click. Once you come to character style, you click on it and it will give you the first one that is here because this what is. So I'm going to just change it to, let's say, Roboto, and I'll make this one 100. and I'll hit my plus button. It will add it. Then if I want to change it as usual, I'll change it to H1, and I've done that one. And that's it. You add A to Z. Oh, yes, that's 1,000, not 100 actually. My system is seasoned. I've never noticed this kind of thing. I don't know why it's behaving like this. There's nothing I'm going to do here now that's going to work. Okay, so please let's just ask more questions. Let me try to refresh, restart my system and come back. Hello everyone, my system is seasoned, so I need to shut down, I need to refresh. So let's ask more of questions before I go, while I bring it on back. Please raise your hand and ask questions. It's time to ask. Hello, nobody's saying anything. Seems we had news. Okay, Bami Femi, please unmute.
All right, good evening, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
evening.
I wanted to ask if there is any like generally accepted size for fonts, like the H1, the H2, for different screen sizes.
Yes, that's why you need to read more of Google material design. Once you read up those stuff, you see the acceptable ones for designing for Google platforms. You see the one for designing for iOS and the rest of them. I actually sent some pictures then to the group showing some of them. I don't know if you saw it. Okay, I think I have them here. Now, for Android, it's mostly advisable that we use 12 pixel as our smallest text. Use 14 pixel for paragraph, 16 pixel for your body text. Then for your text input, like your button text, you use 16 too. Then for titles on pages, it's advisable that you use 12. That's for Android. Now for iPhone, if you're designing for iPhone, you use your 10 pixel for your action bar, use 13 pixel for your primary text, 15 for secondary, 17 pixel for title text, then 17 pixel for your font, for your form text. those text you put in form for your forms. Yeah. Then for desktop, it's advisable that I use 12 pixels as your smallest text, 14 for your detailed text. Use between 16 and 18. Between 16 and 18 for your body text. Subtitles, use 18. 24 to 28 pixels for your title text. Then for your main text, use 32, 38, and 42. But then most times, all these things are very small. They are very small and it doesn't serve. So you just freestyle. Don't go too much above. Don't make the text too big and don't make it too small. Let it just be medium. Hello? Bamidele.
Yes, ma'am.
Have I answered your question?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
EHG, please, you can unmute. EHG, please unmute and talk. Okay, she's out of Ogunbajo. Please, Imo George, mute your mic. Ogunbajo, you can unmute. Victoria, you can unmute and talk.
The question I want to ask is actually because I didn't see when you put that image that you start picking a lot of color from. Is it that you design the image or you actually put the image?
What I did, I just downloaded it.
Was the image imported or was it that it was being designed? That one that we have a guy, like someone trying to blow a trumpet of lot of things.
Okay, so what I did is I just copied the image. I just dragged the image from the particular folder and I placed it on my workspace. You can also do that in Figma, drag and drop, or you use your import feature or your place image. Any of those ones will work fine. Just drag it in and you can select your color. Innocence, you can unmute.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
I wanted to ask, when you were using Figma, you made mention of grid points. So I want to know if there's a standard grid point for each frame.
Okay, the standard grid point. Yeah. Mostly when I'm designing for web, what I use is 12. I use 12 number grid. Then I set my gutter to between 20, I set my gutter 20, 25, 30, depending on how I want to align my objects, my box and the rest of them. Then I set my margin to around 70. I put it on stretch so that if I'm stretching, anyhow I stretch the sides, it would still be, the grid point will still be the same. So then you can check for other ones online.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Dina.
Okay, good evening, Boma.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, my question is about buttons. Like, what's the perfect size of CTA buttons? Because that's always confusing me.
Use between 60. I use between 60 to 80. The height of the rectangle should be 60. 60 to 80. Any of them is okay.
Okay, sorry, how about the width?
The width, does it really have an actual size? No, you don't make it too long and you don't make it too small. There's something they call rule of thumb. let your thumb, if you're using your phone, you're mostly using your thumb to click on the button. So your button should be something that can contain your thumb.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so Victoria, your hand is still up. Do you want to ask another question? My system is still trying to come up. Dina, please, is there another question?
No. I'm actually in the middle of the note, sorry.
Sorry, no, I don't have another question. Sorry.
Okay, so please put down your notes. Is there any question why my system is still putting? Okay, so there's no other question. Now, there's something I would want us to be doing. It will actually help to boost your design skills. So I'm going to drop, okay, let me just copy it and drop it on the chat box. So it's something that is going to challenge you to design, to help yourself grow using those principles you were taught to get it. Okay. Okay. I'll still drop it on the Slack channel. So I want us to do this one. Drop it on the Slack channel. I'm sending like 3. This is 1. Okay, so I want us to work on these 2. Now, make sure you put into consideration alignments, your color choice, every other thing you were taught in the last class. And I'm sure that most of you, from personal study, you've come across some of the principles that wasn't covered in the last class. So you put all those things into consideration and design these two screens. The first one is a landing page. So the landing page should not just be the hero we did, it should be a complete landing page. Now, this particular one is you should select what you want to design. If it's portfolio website, fine. If you want to design a full landing page, a banking app landing page, but then conduct your research very well. Know the features that you should have in these and put all of them into consideration. Design something very fine. Now the second one is to design this is not the main task. The main task is coming. This is like something you should do to make your hands strong. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, before I'll get back to you people. Let me just ask some question. Okay, so I think I'm done. Tolu, hello Tolu.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please just wrap up. Give us suggestion. Add some things to what has been taught for
Jesus,
today.
on my end.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Just few things, like just say, just give us, how will I put it? I don't even know how to put it. From what we've done today, suggestion, more contribution,
Oh,
and the rest of
okay.
them. Yes, contribution.
All right. The class was awesome. I think the only thing I wanted it to be done first was that I mean, you mentioned something about can you still hear me? This my network is looking like it's
Yeah, we
dancing.
can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay, you mentioned something about gather your colors, your assets before you start, blah blah blah, which is very good. But I wanted to chip in that there will be times where you might be unsure and you probably want to just create like wireframes of your work. Maybe you don't have colors yet. I think it is totally okay to venture in even when you're unsure, because it happens to me and it works for me sometimes, where I remember when I think during the Zuri training, right, and the interns decided to select their colors first, and I was looking at those colors, and in my head I didn't know that those colors may never work, right? So I told them that, you know what, you guys try and maybe create a wireframe maybe of just your hero section and implement these colors on them and see if they will even work. That's when they realize that their colors were very off. So there might be times when you're not sure of your colors. It's totally okay to create a little bit of interface and place your colors there, because you can select colors and they are totally off. They're not it like at all. But yes, it's very good to know the color you want to use. Maybe not the color code per se. For instance, if you want to design for, let's say, an ice cream shop, you probably want to use pink or something that looks very bright or something, right? So maybe you're not sure of the kind of pink you want to use, like the code, but you already have it in your head, I'm going to use pink. So don't beat yourself up about the fact that, oh, I've never gotten the X code, I've never gotten the code, I know the kind of pink I'm going to use. What matters is you already on the right track, you already know what fits for that particular project you're working on. So the point is, okay, I've established that I'm going to use pink. Now let me not try this pink that I've seen. And the truth is, you don't kill yourself about trying to pick a color from Figma, from that color wheel on Figma. Don't stress yourself. Even professionals, if they still go through a lot of colors. Go on Dribble, look at colors from there. You can pick. Dribble even has something where they extract colors from shots that were posted there. So you can pick colors from even other people's designs. You can pick colors from photography. You can pick colors from so many things. So that is one thing I just wanted to add, because I think most of us used to have that issue with colors. So we beat ourselves up thinking that we are not good enough because of color. Even professionals too, they have issues with color. So don't worry, it's very fine. Just the cocoa is that go through the right principles. Like Boma said, let your assets be ready. She's not saying that it must be perfect, right? But the cocoa is that you are on the right track. Like the analysis I just gave, I want to build an ice cream shop. I probably want to use pink. So in my head, I'm using pink. I just don't know the kind of pink I want to use. Okay, let me try and implement. Okay, I don't know the kind of code that we use. Let me go to Dribble. Okay, this is an inspiration. This stuff makes sense. I pick the color and I try it. Okay, makes sense. Then I'm good to go. So basically, I'm just saying, don't beat yourself up when you find yourself being unsure or something. Just go for it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Like Tolu said, I actually have issue with colors. Like I don't know how to pick colors. So I don't really bother myself. If you look at most of my designs, they are mostly two colors. If I use more than three, just know that I went to one of those sites I sent that time, colors and the rest of them, and they've given me color. Now, most times I just pick the logo and I put it online and it extracts other colors for me. So I don't normally stress my brain thinking, because if you leave only me with my eyes to select matching colors, I would actually give you disaster. So that's it. So any other question? I saw someone's hand up when Tolu was speaking. So please, who is that person on mute? And my system is still not coming. I don't know what to.
Okay, I wanted to ask. It was me. I wanted to ask if
Okay.
should I say tax or design hint you give. The first one that said focus, is it for book, album, mobile app, or products? Consider important landing page element and call to action and clarity. If we are to choose from maybe any of the listed options to design for.
Okay. So this is like I said, this is not your main task, because we are going to give you a task so that you can move to stage 4. But then
Okay.
this is like something you, instead of stay and not doing and just relying on the main task, I can
Yeah.
be posting this. This is like a challenge, a 100-day
Okay.
challenge. So I can be
Okay.
posting it your free time. You just do something. Now,
Okay.
one advice before we end it here. When you want to design as a designer, I know that most persons feel that being creative is sitting down and just designing anything. Now, there are some sites you get inspirations from. There's something they used to say, no man is an island. I can look at it's good to copy, but don't copy a word like complete work of somebody. But then you can get inspirations from several different. Now, one thing you need to do as a designer, for every, I just don't visit a site and for just visiting sites sake. Once I visit a site, I look at how they place their text, the fonts they use, and the rest of them. I have one this thing I use on my system, and it's called Wax Font. So once I visit a site, okay, let me show you. I think I can show you. My screen is on now. Okay. Now I have something on my system that I call Wax Font. It's an extension. So what I do is, once I visit most site, any site, and I see the font on it and I don't know the name, I just click on it and it shows me the font. Like for this Slack channel, the font that they use is Latin. So what I do, I just write it down and I download it for future sake. So it's the same as colors. As you're surfing through any site and you see any color that is fine, that you like it, just take a screenshot of that particular site and put it on these extensions, these color generators, and they'll generate it for you. So with that, you must not necessarily have a gig before you can start arranging assets. You can be arranging assets, you can get inspiration from anything and you write it down and keep it. So when you want to design, you just know that you've gotten some resources that will help you as a designer. Okay, so someone's hand is up. Isaac Sean.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, I just want to be clear on something. So there was this video that I was watching on wireframing. So the
Okay.
wireframe the person built was a different. It was just full of just boxes, like the flat screen where the picture was, there was a box. Then the home screen, everything was just depicted in boxes from the content, and there was no text at all. Everything was just box, where you are clicking, where they are going to put text and all of that. There was no text on it at all. So I was kind of confused because from the first videos I've been watching, there are always text and on wireframe. So, and I know there are three levels of wireframe. There's the low, there's the mid, and the high. So I'm saying that one, the low file wireframe, because I know there was a time that I was watching a video and even the low file wireframe person created, there were text in it. But this one, there was no text at all. Everything was just box. So I don't know, is that the low file or is just another form of creating wireframe again?
Yeah, that's lo-fi. It's low fidelity wireframe. So initially, when you're designing, when you're doing your wireframe, you don't need to put any text. You just put the boxes indicating that this is what you want. Then when you're entering your mid wireframe, that's when you're sure of, okay, I want to use this text. Maybe you've gotten your content that you use. Most times you might not have gotten it and you still want to use dummy text, but then it's just what works best for you. I'm showing your client a low, the one with box. The client might not really understand what you mean. So then some people just start with it so that they know how to arrange everything they want to arrange, and the rest of them it's fine. But that's low wireframe.
Hello,
But
Goma.
we mostly use yeah.
Okay, go on. I wanted to quickly ask him.
Okay, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, there I hear. We can hear you.
Okay, so I wanted to say that in design, you will quickly realize that a lot of things are nuanced. Like, it's not always yes or no. Do you get?
Yeah.
You know how we said there's wireframe, low fidelity, high fidelity, and all that. The one you saw, it could be anything. When you said the first video you watched, it had content and some writing, right? And it was low fidelity. And then maybe the one you saw in class had maybe more boxes or less boxes, whatever. And maybe that one was high fidelity wireframe. In design, it's just there are a lot of gray lines or it's a lot of blur. Okay. So don't get confused. Just take it with stride and then do the one that you know, because a lot of things are mixed up. There's even an argument about roles, like who is really a UI designer, who is a UX designer. The roles are mixed up. A UX designer can do a little bit of branding, for example, can do UI, and can still do UX. So don't I guess what I'm trying to say is don't constrain yourself to like one will I say to like one side of knowledge. Okay, be open-minded. As long as it has boxes, share, and it doesn't have color, it's wireframe. Okay, I understand that you need to know high, low, and middle, but don't get, I don't know how to explain, but don't get too attached to concept. That's another way you can get creative. Don't just say, oh, I saw it in this video and this is the only way I'm going to know it. No. So just stay open-minded and just realize that in design, there are like a lot of gray areas. Okay. Just the way she told you, maybe your CTA buttons can be 60. You'll see other places where 40px will work. Bigger ones like 80px would work. It doesn't mean that they are wrong or that Boma is wrong. Okay, it's just a matter of preference and whatever works for a particular type of design. Okay, so I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Dela. Okay. 2 more questions and we're done for today. Till Thursday. Hello. So, so please, Emmanuel, do you have anything to say before we end it? Hello, Emmanuel.
Sorry, guys. See, where I am is really, really noisy. So even if I'm to say anything, I'm not sure you guys might hear me well.
Okay.
But all in all, you guys have already said it all.
Okay. Since there's no other question from you guys, I don't know if there's any announcement, sir.
Okay, so thank you. A big thanks to the mentors, to everyone who actually took the time to come on the class. Thank you very much. So, like your trainer has said, you guys are going to be having some daily challenges, to keep yourself busy. But please just make sure you look out for your task. Okay, since promotion is going to be this week, so I think that will be all from me. So thank you guys. Thank you everyone. See you on Thursday. Have a wonderful